Hey guys, like I said before, I was gonna make a video demonstrating how the Narcanus2 works, which is the fixed chat program. If the readmes weren't enough, then hopefully this video will show you how the thing works. I think it's pretty straightforward and self-explanatory, so it shouldn't be too difficult to follow. So, first thing you want to do, you want to go to your repo, just like before. Um, Right, so if your repo is synced properly inside the Narcanus, inside the program chat fixed, the chat program fixed, you should see three files: the README file, the encryption 2.py, and the Narcanus 2.py. If we start the program, there's a little thing different about this program compared to the last program. Whereas the last program asked you for the mode after you start the program, this one you give the mode as a argument on the command prompt. So let me show you. We do Python narcanus 2 py, and then you give the mode. For instance, client. This is starts the program in client mode, right? Let's stop it. So again, we start a second command window, right? One of these, this I'll run the server, and this one I'll run the client. So we start a client on this one. So all the client does in this case is just asks you for an IP address, localhost for instance. It's not gonna work, but I'm just gonna demonstrate how the client works. Ask you for a username and say Michael. Ask you for a password. Okay, you put in password, you retype the password, and it tries to connect. In this case, it failed because the server is not running. That's all the client program does. What the server program does, okay, as you can see, it started on server mode. It will ask you for similar things. So first you give it a username, then you give it a password, retype the password. Notice that if you type the password wrong, look, I'm going to type it wrong, it tells you the password does not match, right? And they ask you to retype again. This is going to keep happening until both of the passwords match. Um, as you can see, this line over here says user record does not exist. This version of the program uses a user record file, is a text, encrypted text file, um, where you pose out uh, SCV values, which are users and their hash passwords. So it's user hash passwords all the way through. Okay, so if there are no records, this will happen if you start a program for the first time and you have never created a record. So the first thing you need to do is just create a record. So you select option 1, go to server setup, and you can see you have no records. If you try to print a record, user record is empty, so clearly it's not working. And the options are pretty explanatory. You can create user record, you can add user, remove user, you can print record, save and go back. If you save and go back, of course, nothing's gonna change. If you go back to your server and you try to print your records, same problem. User records is empty. You cannot add, of course, you cannot add users to empty records, and you cannot remove users from empty records. So let's create a record first. When you create a record, the owner of that record will be the username and the password that you logged in. That password is going to be used to decrypt the file. The password they used to log in up here, right? That password username is going to be used to decrypt the file, the user records file. So create user records, new records owned by Fermion created. So the first thing you need to do, you need to add, right? because the user records right now there's only one person. If you print it, Fermion is the only person on the records. So you want to add maybe another person. Um, let's say add user number 2. And then I'll pick a username. Let's say James, right? And then I'll pick a password for James. Retype the password. That's it. So if I print their user records again, James and Fermion right there. Okay. So you just save and go back, and you have now a user records. If you exit the program and you start the program again with the same username, which is case sensitive, and password, okay. I guess I used the wrong password. Yes, I did. Password did I use? Well, let's just create new records, whatever. You see, this could happen in the case where you forget your password or something like that. There's no way to retrieve the records right now. So what you have to do when the password is not, if the password is not good, it's going to tell you server username and nor password do not match the record. So what you're going to have to do, you're just going to have to overwrite the record. So you create a new record by Fermion created. You add new user, James. Okay, you save and go back. And as I said before, if you use the same password, it'll tell you there's no error. And if you go to server setup and you print the records, it's gonna be there. Okay, so this is it. So the only rule is that the person that when the client server connects to the client program, sorry, when the client program connects to the server program, the client user that you put up here, okay, and the client password that you inserted on the program up here must exist on this record. If it does not exist, it will not work. Okay, so I've created James. So I'm gonna, first of all, you have to start the server, which is option 2, start server. Now the server is waiting for connection, and I will connect local host as before, and this is case sensitive. James, password, retype password, connected. Hello. It's simple and it works. That's it. It's that easy. The only difference between this program and the other program is this user record business. I added the user record so we can keep password hashes, and from these hashes we can create random generators. But right now, like I said, the random generators are not working. We're just using one generators. James is supposed to fix that. So, I hope this video helped. It's really straightforward. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, just you remember that you need to create user records when you log in on the server. You need to use the same password and username as you used when you created the records. Otherwise, you need to override the records because you cannot read it. Okay, so it's really easy, straightforward. Let me know if you guys need anything, and that's it.